You're alive. You become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Squeaky clean image. Women love you around the world, and this is what's going on in your house. Your wife is in love with a dead man. Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so me and my mommy can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Tupac got killed in what, 95, 96? Willow never met Tupac. Why is this little girl writing a letter to Tupac? Why is Will Smith's daughter writing a letter to Tupac? What is being said in that house to get this little girl not writing Santa Claus, not writing the Easter Bunny, writing Tupac?
Shawty said she wants to be my wife. Prayed and waited patiently for me her whole life. But knowing about me, I know she gotta be caught up in that new relationship novelty. Feeling like a princess.
Maybe I'll be down to scoop you up later in life if you ain't all shriveled up.
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that, he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. You didn't have to marry me to do time. Right? I'm here.
I see why we love you.
And then but he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation, you know, because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
Right.
I'd be real with it.
Right. Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
And he got the best.
Right. He was just like, look. And I just think it was the mind state that he was in. You know, he wrote me this long letter. And I think even before Pac went to jail, he was starting to shift in a certain manner.
Good or bad?
Good. Really good.
What's he really like?
Just like
Can't be as nice as the guy I just met.
Oh no, he
Got to be a dark, sinister side to Will Smith. We just
You know what? It's not. It's not. That's what's crazy. It's not.
What made you fall in love with him?
I would say Will came at a time in my life where he saw beauty in me that I didn't see in myself at the time. And, you know, he saw a diamond in the rough and he kind of picked me up and blew off all the dust and said, I'm telling you, I'm going to make you shine, girl.
Well, you certainly did, looking at that rough.
Right, exactly. And I was going through a really rough time. And, you know, he created a safe space for me to get healthy and to grow and to find myself.
And how do you keep things so, I mean, I keep reading that the pair of you have this sort of fantastic sex life after 14 years of marriage.
You have to. You know, and I know people...
Including other people. Of course, her sex life is exciting. She sleep around with other people. I'm telling you, man, listen, man, I want y'all to understand, man. And we ain't gonna keep dumping on Will, man, because Will is just a sad case, man. But I want you to understand the power that a woman will wield over you if you give her a little bit of power. If you give her a little power, man, she gonna take, I tell y'all all the time, man, you give her an inch, she gonna want 2. You give her 2, she gonna want 3. You give her 3, she gonna want a mile. You give her a driver license, she gonna want to fly the space shuttle, man. I'm telling you, you have to understand that any power you give a woman, she will use it for her own good and use it for your bad. She is not fair with power. That's why you don't need to give her none. You understand? You put a woman in a position of power at a company, you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna look out for the women more than the men, because she's not fair with power. Power is not her forte. Yes, she can get some power, but she ain't gonna be fair with it. She's not gonna do the things that need to be done with it. She's not gonna try to, you know, keep the ship steady. She's gonna try to throw all the men overboard, man, just protect the women. Like, that's what she's gonna do. That's why I tell you, man, we can't be in that situation where we like, man, there's a gender war. Man, there ain't no gender war. She's no threat. So she can declare war all she wants to. She ain't no threat. We just keep going with our lives. Well, they've declared war on us. Who? The women? Oh, sheesh. Man, I'm finna go fishing. You think I care about that? I'm telling y'all, man, we are in a world where we had better stop playing games and stop believing that we can change reality. Y'all men got to stop living in this internet society, this internet world like women live. Y'all live in a fantasy world. You think you can just wake up one day, ignore reality, create your own reality, and then that's going to be how your life is. Man, you crazy. Will's reality is that him and Jada are still married, even though they're not together. They've been living separate for 7 years. And he going out here to the world, presenting this lie to the world for her benefit. And now she decided to tell the whole world, man, me and that dude ain't even been together for 7 years. Now he looks stupid because all of the things he had, if you notice, she ain't never run to his defense. She ain't never defend him. She ain't never say nothing positive about him in public. She ain't never come rescue him. She ain't never had to take no public embarrassment off of him. She ain't never had to walk on stage and slap nobody over him. Why? Because she accepted the reality of the scenario that we're not together. Will, on the other hand, now we reel back over the past 7 years, look at all the dumb things he's done, all of the times he's been played, all of the times he's sacrificed himself, all of the times he's lost this and lost that and didn't have an opportunity to do this about this bro. And she done dropped him 7 years ago, bro. A woman will let you give yourself to her and not give you anything in return, because she's not obligated. In her mind, she's not obligated to reciprocate anything. You have to demand that a woman reciprocate shit. That's why we always talk about, man, keep your gators on her neck. If you don't, she not gonna just wake up and do what you want her to do. You gotta make sure she does it. If you ain't paying attention, she ain't gonna do it. That's just the reality of it. If you ain't using your gators, she is not gonna do it, man. Unless we're talking about like Lil Mama in the beginning, but even with her, she's a virgin. That just means she's a worthy wife. You get in a wife situation, you still got to keep your gators on her neck. Just because she a virgin, that don't mean she ain't a woman. That just means she's a woman who ain't been touched by nobody, worthy of being a wife. Her, you still got to put your gators right squarely on her esophagus, man. I'm telling you. Will thought that even though she didn't want him, he could buy her. That he could affect the negative energy she was feeling, but the negative energy was toward him. Being with him, not Pac. Now, I want y'all to understand, man, when you believe, it's the same thing guys out here believing that you can pay a woman to like you, that you can increase a woman's attraction, that you can increase a woman's interest, that you can make a woman like you, that you can buy enough stuff and wine and dine enough time where the woman is going to like you. Here's the problem with that. It's just not true. So it's the biggest display of ego to think you can make a woman who don't like you like you. It's the biggest display of ego to think that you got enough money to pay a woman to like you who don't like you. It's the biggest display of ego for you to believe that a woman who detests you will suddenly love you if you become a better version of yourself. If a woman sees you at your worst, that she's going to love you more when she sees you at your best. She's not going to remember you at your worst. It is full of ego. And she pretty much told that dude to his face, for you to spend all this and think you can do all this and think you were going to be to be able to affect the fact that I hate being with you by spending money. It was a terrible display of ego. You know what ego is? Ego is the thing that makes you feel like you are bigger than the truth. That's all ego is. Ego makes you feel like you are bigger than the truth, that you can somehow circumvent the truth. That's all it is, man. So we talk about ego and all that, man. Listen, I don't have ego. I know facts about myself. I know in that area right there, I can't be beat. When it come over to this right here, I'm top notch. I need to work on that over there. I need to work on that over there. But these two areas right here, I'll put me against anybody. That's not ego. Ego is, you know what? I ain't that good at them areas, but I'm so good at these 2 areas that I'm just gonna automatically be good at those. I'm gonna luck my way into those areas. That's ego. Ego keeps you from accepting reality because you believe that you are above the truth. That's why a man stays with a woman who don't want him, who's told him she don't want him. That's why a man stays locked into a woman for 7 years, going out into the world, letting that woman control the dynamic, letting her control the narrative, man. And so she told him to go out into the world and convince the world that we still together. And he took his ass out there and did it. Look where it got him.